special afternoon in prospect on the south coast as the Dell stages its last competitive match, having been home to Southampton FC for 103 years. Those in red and white stripes this afternoon who will hope to write a final Dell headline: James Beattie, 16 games without a goal. Hoping to add to his tally, the top scorer, the second.
Building up to this game, obviously, being the last competitive game at the Dell was something historical and something very special. So, yeah, it was a special game, a very special game for me, I remember.
Yeah.
We can see with the banner on there. Looks like a great atmosphere.
I don't even remember what they were for.
I think it might have been, was it for a charity?
Was it? I can't. Yeah, I mean, it's not that long ago now. The memories fade a little bit, but yeah, it was quite fetching, wasn't it?
I like it. It suits you.
Yeah. So this season has been a big frustration for me, injury-wise. I hadn't played very much at all, and I hadn't scored a Premier League goal the whole season. And I'd been struggling with calf injuries, and I kind of got to a point where I was back training with the boys. I think I'd had a couple of subs appearances a few weeks beforehand. And then I just kind of got back training, and Stuart Gray said to me on the Tuesday before this game, he said, look, I know you're not fully fit. He said, but I'm going to put you on the bench at the weekend. And because of what you've done for this football club, he said, I'm going to make sure that when the final whistle goes, you're going to be on the pitch. He said, I'm going to do the same to Franny as well. He said, because the pair of you, the service that you've given to the football club, you deserve to be on that pitch celebrating.
Senior setup in years to come. It's whether he can make the most of his obvious assets. It's a nice dummy. This is Cole. It's a terrific run by Cole, and an excellent save by Jones, but Cole will finish it on the follow-up. Terrific stuff from the youngster, and Arsenal crashing the party. Beattie. He's got the better of Adams here. Parler was in support, and there was no one arriving on the end of his ball. Davis. Pahars. Where will it drop? Kashlul in there. Well, Tony Adams dealing with the danger, but something to warm Southampton.
In my contract as well, on stake, I had a bonus for a top 10 finish. And I made you remember, Matt?
I do remember. That's why I was giggling.
Yeah, I had a bonus for finishing top 10. And obviously at the time, me and Matt was pretty close at the time, and hanging out a lot together. So
I bought his house off of him.
Yeah, you did in Ocean Village.
Really?
So I made a deal with him that week because, like he said himself, what a fitting ending that he comes on and the god he is and win the game for us. So I promised him a case of Malibu and a case of Coke if he won the game for us, and there you go.
I think it was that case of Malibu that sent me into early retirement.
There you go.
I think it was important to get a goal back early in this second half, because obviously when you're one down a team that's as good as Arsenal, if they have the lead for too long, they can just pass it around you and take advantage of it.
But you can see we from the first second we were charging them straight in their faces. So we were really up for it.
Yeah, and I think it was Chris Marsden that just got the block in there, and it just fell perfectly for Hassan. But what you don't see on there is the spin that the ball had on it when Mazza has blocked it. The ball would have been spinning and Hassan used the spin on the ball brilliantly with his left foot, and it's a perfect finish. No chance.
It's a great finish, and to take it first time there with the spin, it's great goal.
And I think he'd be the first person to admit I said earlier about him being pretty two-footed, but he'd probably call himself a right-footed player. But you could see there, he had no hesitation in finishing that ball off with his left foot, and that's gone right to the top corner. It was an absolutely fantastic finish.
He hadn't scored a goal in the Premiership since the opening day at Derby when he bagged 2. Dean Richards is up for this one. It's in towards him. Martin Keown did enough. This is Pires. It's a good ball. Now Henry. Oh, it's beautiful play. He's away from Lundekvam, and this is a real chance. Ljungberg! Southampton caught with a sucker punch. And their revival has lasted all of 8 minutes.
How were you feeling at that point? Because, as I just said, you know, when they first went 1 ahead, you know, probably tough to take. But again, how were you kind of feeling? Were you thinking, oh no, this is our day?
I think I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to come on and score the equaliser, when really I want to come on for the winner. That's how my brain works.
That's a bit selfish, but there you go.
I love that that's the way your mind worked. You've been visualising.
We got used to that. We did all the hard work, and Matt won the games for us there. But that was fine. It's no problem.
Matt won't even argue with you on that.
I know. I think Beats would probably be a bit disappointed with himself that he didn't actually score that header, because I think he saw the goalkeeper coming out the corner of his eye and he took his eye off the ball a little bit. So he should have really scored with the header, but he put the goalkeeper off enough for Hassan to have the easiest of touches. We've kind of glossed over his first goal actually, because that was a really good finish. You know, I mean, it was pretty evenly balanced with his left and his right feet. You know, you couldn't really tell which one was his best foot. But that finish, I thought, showed great composure, and the goalkeeper kind of had no chance. The ball was spinning, and I think it's quite an underrated finish actually.
After that from Hassan, Matt, you were ready to come on at that point. You were ready to score the winner.
Well, once it went to 2-2, I knew that was it. That's my time.
Get me on.
It was, and I was itching. I just couldn't wait to get on. Obviously, I didn't know how long Stuart was going to put me on for. I kind of thought, because he just said I'd be on the pitch at the end, and I kind of thought, oh, he put me on like 85 minutes or something like that, just to give me a little bit of a run around. But it was he'd give me a little bit longer than that, and that was nice of him. You know, it gave me a chance to actually kind of get into the game a little bit and not be too cold when the chance came my way. Yeah, and even Marion decided that, you know, he'd wait for me to come on.
Yeah, he did. He should have scored there. He should have scored there.
They've all been far too kind, Matt. They've all looked out for you there.
It was all meant to be. It was all meant to be.
Exactly. You know, there was chances for Arsenal, and that was very unlike. He was that was very unlike Marion. I loved him as a footballer. I thought he was one of the most talented players that I played alongside at Southampton.
What a great tackle that was!
Oh, brilliant! The referee blows for a free kick there for us, and I can't for the life of me think where there's a foul for us. If anything, Chris Marsden has smacked right through Lundberg. He could have given a penalty. Watch the replay. Watch the replay. Watch Chris Marsden. Not here, but when it comes out to Lundberg, here you go. Watch.
Chris
Marsden. Not there. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been a penalty. That
was odd. And then.
That's the substitution. Yeah.
I mean, look at that transfer of a man.
Moment, Matt. To talk about how you're feeling in this exact moment.
So basically, I remember Stuart saying to me, he said, just go and play as close to Arsenal's goal as you possibly can. He said, I want you to score. If we get a chance, I want it to fall to you. He said, so don't come back. He said, just get as close as you can to. Because I think he actually said he sent James Beattie out to play on the right wing, and he sent me down as a centre forward, because he kind of had the feeling, probably the same as me, that if a chance was going to fall our way, then he probably knew that I had the mentality to stick it in the back of the net when it came.
And that's got to go down as one of the greatest moments of your career.
Oh, funny enough, I was talking to my wife about this earlier, and she was asking about it, and I said I can honestly say when this ball goes in, I mean, that's a nice finish. But when that ball went in, the noise from that stadium was
unbelievable.
The only time I ever heard a noise that came anywhere close to the noise when that goal went in was when your dad scored his header. Honestly,
I remember that as well.
You remember that, Dave?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, the
it was something special on that stadium. And I remember as well, really well. But looking back at it, 19 years ago, but it brings a tear to my eye. It's so much emotions. And look at that finish.
Klaus, you say
it
makes you emotional now. How are you feeling in that moment when Matt scored?
It was just so fitting. That the whole setting, everything about it was just building up to this sort of eruption of the Dell for the last time, and then obviously it couldn't have been a better moment for everyone involved. Obviously.
Did you realise, Klaus, at that point, did you realise that goal was the difference between us finishing 11th and finishing 10th and you getting your bonus?
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. That's what I said. And I had quite a good bonus for that. So that's why you got the case of Malibu and Coke.
That's why you had a tear in your eye, really, Klaus.
Yeah. Well, now, as a footballer, obviously the whole the game was end to end. And it was perfect for Matt to come on at that time as well. And obviously, when it dropped to him like that, obviously the finish is world class. But who else to finish it off like that? It was just something special. One of my absolute best highlights of my 20 years professional career, without doubt.
No,
it's amazing.
And Klaus, you mean that's more of a highlight than your goal at Wolves, your first ever goal for Saints?
Well, it's up there. Obviously, at that time when I scored after 6 years, my 250 appearance for Saints, I was just in shock, so I didn't know what happened. But this was obviously, I've learned to love the club at this time, and then playing at the Dell, I recognised how special it was for all the supporters.
Yeah, I have to say that the last couple of minutes were really, really weird for me because obviously I've now scored what is the last goal at the Dell, but obviously there's still a few minutes left, and if somebody else scores now, I'm going to be absolutely pig sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Chris Martin very nearly stole the last goal at the Dell, didn't he?
He did indeed. I'm sure we'll probably see that in a minute. But it all got a bit heated here. Look, I mean, it's all getting beats. It's just winding everyone up. And it all did get a little bit heated. Look at me, I'm there going, wait, just waste time. Look, wait for it, waste time. Don't put the ball too near the bottom. This was the throw-in. This was the throw-in which led to Chrissy Marsden's shot, I think, because I think the long throw gets cleared out to him, and he comes on and he leathers it with his left foot, and it was a decent strike as well. So here it goes, gets cleared out, and it's a good strike, and the keeper he makes it look a bit harder than it actually was, if I'm honest. A bit of a pose. But I got to admit, when I saw that...
How thankful were you for that save, Matt?
When I saw him tip it over, like you see me on the edge of the box there, I'm now running across to go and take the corner. And as I'm running across, I'm thinking, I want to go and cuddle the goalie. and then if you notice, I go and take the corner, but I don't bother putting it in the box. I just take a short corner to Bridgie, and then the ref blows the final whistle, so there was no chance anyone could get a chance to score.
So I imagine at this point, it's quite a surreal feeling. You've secured the last goal at the Dell, Matt, but also quite an emotional feeling that you have just played for the last time in a competitive match at the Dell. What's going through your head at this point?
Yeah, it was. It was a really odd sensation, actually. I mean, obviously everyone was incredibly emotional, as you can see from the fans there. The reaction was quite incredible. And there was a little ceremony afterwards on the pitch, and we were all presented. All the players that played were presented with a little silver salver from just to commemorate the last ever game there. And you can see me. I'm trying to wave to my family that are up in the stand there. Mitchell was in the crowd. He was only about he would have been 10 at the time, I think, maybe even 9. And it was just an amazing finish to that day, and just the adrenaline that was going through your body at that point was just incredible, and it was just an amazing time. It really was.
I mean, Klaus, that's unbelievable scenes, isn't it? Aside from knowing you scored the bonus, how are you feeling at this point?
Yeah, seriously, I was thinking about the bonus at all. I'm not knowing. But looking at these scenes, serious. Looking at these scenes is magic. It's like I said, it's one of those things as a footballer that you train for, you strive for, and yeah, it's just something very, very special. And with the Dell's 103 years of history, it comes to end on this day, and it couldn't have been a better finish than it was, and winning and beating Arsenal on the day. Yeah, it was just magic.
I think people forget as well, but the week before that, we beat Man United as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So the last two home games of the season were Man United and Arsenal.
What a way to end the season.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to say farewell to the Dell, and with 2 wins over what were probably the 2 best clubs in the country at the time.
Well, that was the strength we had. Obviously, on paper, we saw these years we were sort of guessed relegation every year, but we had something very special in the dressing room, and beating teams like Man United, Arsenal at home. They hated coming down here, and we were straight in their faces. And it was. We had a really strong dressing room at this time, and all the games we played, we had a strong belief that we could beat anyone.
I think the strength in the change room, I think, came from probably not being as professional as the players are these days.
Well, you're right. You're right.
That quite a few of us, we enjoyed a night out, and but the bonding that takes place and spending that time together, it was just amazing that then kind of replicates when you come into a game like that. The team spirit and the bond between you all, that's what gets you through games like that, and that's what makes magic memories, really. And yes, we might not have been as professional as we probably should have been back in the day, but there was an upside to not being that professional, and that was the spirit that kept us up all those years at the Dell.
Well, I imagine the spirit at this point was pretty good in the dressing room. Can you remember the scenes of what was going on at this point?
I don't remember the dressing room, but I obviously the whole thing was surreal and just magic, like I said before, and you're just in so much adrenaline and euphoria that it's just I'm sure we all, and like Matt said, we were hanging out on our spare time a lot together, which made us sort of really close as footballers, as teammates, but also socially, which made us I think was one of the main strengths. We were willing to die for each other on the pitch, and we made that being really close together off the field as well. So, I'm sure after a few hours after the game, we were having a good time somewhere.
I can remember actually. Obviously, they had to clear the crowd off the pitch. We went back out onto the pitch to receive the salvers from Rupert Lowe, and I do remember. I remember him giving me. Well, I'd signed a new contract for the following season about 3 days before that game, and I can remember him giving me the silver salver, and I just looked at him and I went, I should have waited a few days. I could have had double the wages.
You're not wrong.
Oh, and it was obviously a hugely incredible and memorable day for so many different reasons. But there were so many fantastic moments enjoyed at the Dell. If you cast your mind back, is there any other moments or games that specifically stand out to you from the Dell?
Well, obviously mine go back a long way to 1986, I think 10 years before Claus actually arrived. So one of my favourite games was a 1 win against Liverpool back in October 1989, which was just an amazing day. It could have been 8 that day comfortably. You know, we were hitting the post, hitting the bar, and that was a really exciting performance from the team over 90 minutes. But one of my other favourite ones, Claus was involved in. That was the 6-3. You played in that one, Dave, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had an assist in that as well. But that was pretty special. Yeah.
I think any time you beat kind of the best teams in the country, which those guys were at the time, anytime you turn those guys over, they're pretty special memories for you.